Well, this is the final sprint weekend here in PRL this season, though not next season. I'm sure there will be more next season, but we are here in Qatar, the well, hot desert, very hot desert, and the drivers will have 1 hour to be practicing around this fast track. Here we have 5.419 kilometers or 3.367 miles worth. Only one DRS zone and 16 turns and 4.178 meters of elevation. 16 turns for the drivers to obviously navigate through. 3 tires for the drivers to test out this weekend. But obviously it will be quite difficult to try and maintain tires because it is going to be a hot surface, hot track temperature. So it'll be interesting to see how the drivers will cooperate with that. Currently, unfortunately, the camera system is not working as well as we wanted it to. So this weekend it will be quite difficult trying to navigate through, trying to obviously yeah, trying to follow the cars through, but I'm sure we can do that throughout the weekend. Here is the driver. A special return is Harrison, obviously champion of this season, and I'm sure he will try and claim his third title in a row next year. So yes, we are going to try and follow him, despite the fact that um we are going to be struggling a bit. But 1 hour for the drivers to practice. Obviously, 36 minutes on here, but the practice session did get on the way at 4:20. So yes, unfortunately we couldn't broadcast that as I had to set everything up. So apologies there. But yes, this is how it's going to have to literally be. Just following the car, and that is it. That is the hard task of this weekend. The drivers obviously have to try and learn where the corner cuts are and stuff. 1 hour, obviously, quite a long time for the drivers to try and get as much practice in as possible around this circuit. I think that might be about 30 laps continuously. The new update around this circuit actually is that the pit lane right here. I'm gonna cut away from Harrison so you can see him in the distance. You're gonna cut here. The pit lane, the old pit lane used to be here, so like 2021 version, it used to be here. Enter, and there used to be a wall, 2 walls, here, and then you just enter there. This time, here, this season, however, it has changed. It's become a much faster turn, and the pit lane has been instead moved over here. So the drivers will need to react quicker. Actually, I do believe that I believe it will help the drivers more. Because obviously you're coming around this fast turn here. I actually tested out the cars earlier, or someone did. I should say. And they told me that they were going about gear 5, gear 6 average around there, maybe even gear 7 depending on how fast you're going. We can see Harrison here. But yes, you're going very fast on this turn as you see Harrison demonstrate right there. And you've got pretty much like you don't have time to react really. Yeah, you don't have time to react because you're going so fast, and you also have to navigate. So you don't navigate the braking zone when where you're gonna brake, and if you don't, you're gonna hit the wall. So instead, this time round, it has been moved over here. A little less, I would say, to for the drivers to react, but obviously, they are going around much slower corner, around the final corner, and instead that instead they will have more time to react. Instead, let's move down to the garages currently. We can see all the garages. Um, one thing that I always forgets, only keeps on reminding me to make a video on this. One thing I always forget to say, and I will say this, is that Haas have unfortunately been disqualified, but that was very early in the season. They were disqualified for going over the budget cap. I can give the exact amount. I can bring it up. They went um 62 million over the budget cap, unfortunately. Alfa Romeo are close as well. They're probably yes, they are the closest. Which is unfortunate for them. After obviously Logos crash in Mexico qualifying, they go down 7 million with the tow truck. Um, so yes, that they do have to be careful, obviously. Then afterwards, you have McLaren in second place with 32 million. I think going into Monaco, I believe that they could just get lots of money, lots of upgrades. Sorry, but they do have to be careful. Monaco is quite it is it is a tight track, and it will be the tightest track this season so far, which obviously drivers will have to try and navigate through and everything. One thing I need to say, however, is that we will have a new calendar on the next season. It will be Tuscany replacing Bahrain. Bahrain didn't want to come in, which is unfortunate for them. Um, yes, new track, Tuscany. I'll probably say it's probably similar. It's a mix of pretty much Qatar and Saudi Arabia. Yes, Saudi Arabia. You got high speed turns. You got Qatar where it's very wide track. Really, you got lots of gravel and stuff. Um, Me personally, I haven't seen a track yet. I've never raced around it, which is unfortunate for me. So this is going to be an exciting moment for myself. Really. I am really excited. Obviously, Tuscany. Has to be probably my top five favorites track, maybe even top three favorite tracks. Yeah, that will be interesting to see how the race will go. Let's move down to McLaren. Um, Note has been putting in a good fight for the past few rounds ever since. If I could get it right, I believe he was here in Mexico and in Miami, Saudi Arabia. So only 3 rounds he was in McLaren, and he was able to actually experience a faster car. And in Qatar, literally, I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago, I believe, maybe. Yeah, most likely 2 days ago. A few days ago, I should say. Um, we had a surprise, and that was Harrison returning back to McLaren. So it is exciting stuff for him. Actually, yes, it is exciting stuff for him. He can return back to his fast car. That means Power will be demoted back to car 4. But in Monaco, he does have a big advantage, I'd have to say. He does have a big advantage. And that is because we've seen in Mexico as well, the Sector 1 is all about the corners, and we saw Note beating his teammate in Sector 1. So that was very interesting stuff for him. So in Monaco, Pau does have a big advantage. He had unfortunately lost his losing streak last week. Um, yes, he did unfortunately lose his winning streak, I should say. He won in Chicago, Mexico, Miami, trying to get 4 in a row, and that unfortunately ends. But with Harrison back, I'm sure he will not win because Harrison will be dominating instead. He has been dominating all season, and if I could try and get the right order, I could try and um talk about obviously the new all the wins he's had. So he has won in Bahrain, he's won in Canada, Brazil, Germany, Indy 500, Silverstone, Austria, Imola, Le Mans. So that was 8 races in a row, which is good stuff for him. Trying to beat his um, current world record of 8 races, 8 wins in a row. But instead, Pau won in Baku. And then in China, um, Harrison took it personal and absolutely dominated the next 2 weekends of China and Fuji. Sorry for the voice. USA, it was a sprint weekend, so Powell won the sprint. Very good stuff for him. After Harrison pitted with the last few laps, he did say that his tires were gone, so that is a reasonable um thing to obviously pit. But then in the main race, we saw Harrison absolutely dominate. Heartbreak for Powell though. He kept them going past sixth or seventh gear. He was going past one of the gears, which is unfortunate stuff for him. And then Chicago, obviously, Powell won once again. Powell did win with Logan in second, Harrison in third, as we currently see Harrison with the hard tires. He is going to be driving around with 27 minutes and, wait for it, 15 seconds remaining on the clock. Um, yes. Um, Chicago, not Harrison. Powell won with Logo second. Mexico, it was another sprint weekend. Logo won the sprint race, and then Powell won the main race after note. To give the position back at the end. Um, literally right on the literally on the main straight. Um, in Mexico, we saw in Mexico, we saw a like yes, not Mexico. We already talked about that. Miami. It was a 3 lap shootout. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there because I believe I was out that day. Yes, I was out. That was out. I was out, unfortunately. But yes, in Miami, Powell did win the race. It was a 3 lap shootout. Obviously, the lap system wasn't working. And Logo thought he won, so they did shootout, and Powell won it. I did look at a replay on it, and I could say that um, well, that Alfa Romeo was probably badly damaged if it was in real life. It literally just flipped over the fence or the barrier, which I replayed it a few times and I was just shocked. Um, in Saudi Arabia, Note won his second race this season, which is good stuff for him. He can finally celebrate. Well, I'm sure his dream or his goal was to win with McLaren, and that's what he did in Saudi Arabia. After a red flag towards the end of the session, towards the end of the race, I should say, and then we do go from Saudi Arabia to here in Qatar, where I'm sure it will be fascinating to see the drivers driving around everywhere. And let's see if we can find Harrison. There he is. There is Harrison trying to win the last 2 races, which in Monaco it will be difficult for him. I should say. Um, it will be difficult for the two-time world champion driver, the British driver or South African driver. Not sure what his nationality is. I believe he is British. He did change it to something else. Um, yes, he is British. Um, yes, he is British. Let's try watch him and see if this works. No, it does not work. Um, that is very unfortunate. So, yes. I did want How to cancel this week and replace it with something else. Because the camera was gonna be absolutely triggering me, my opinion. It will trigger me. But yes, we are gonna have to follow the cars for 5 sessions this weekend. Not one, not two like usually we have, not three, not four on a sprint weekend, but five, including the practice session. I mean, practice, you did see I was standing still for about um 10 minutes, I'd say, just waffling on about whatever. But yes, here we are. Here's Harrison driving around. I wish I could use free cam. Um, but the big news is, and I've not announced it to the drivers yet, but there will be a custom intro for Monaco, which Formula 2 will be in it as well. In F2, I'm sure Omi has been to, or in F1, yes, F1 in Chicago, Omi has been talking about it, and um, well, he has been talking about it. I am working on it currently, and it is nearly finished. Um, I've already added all the clips and everything. It's just some stuff I need to work on, and then it will be used. And I will promise that I will try and get it out, finished before Monaco. I will let Omi know, um, that we will probably most likely be using intro if I can get it finished. But yes, currently working his way around his house in 18 corner cuts. He's done 20 laps. Um, so practicing is really useful, especially around the circuit, because before the corner cuts were very strict. In my opinion, I did make it, but it was very strict for a specific driver, which I will not mention. And instead, I've reduced it. So now it is less strict, and the drivers need to try and navigate their way around, trying to find all the corner cuts, whether they can sneaky corner cut at a specific place, which is what Hassan's doing, and he will take it up advantage. There will be no excuse, obviously. Drivers do have 1 hour of practicing, and that 1 hour could really come in advantage, really. There is no excuse saying, "Oh, I didn't know the circuit or anything." Um, well, yeah, there is no excuse. You had 1 hour practice session that you where you are allowed to drive around, and no one's attending. It's not only Harrison, so I wouldn't be surprised if Harrison does take pole, sprint qualifying, even take race victory in the sprint race and the main race. Really, um, that is because he's obviously not only is he a really fast driver, also he's obviously practicing. Practice makes perfect is a phrase that you hear all the time, really, and yes, that is what you hear most of the time. I could try and get, yes, I've currently got the cutaway from Harrison for a second. Let's try to see where he is. He's coming up here now. There he is. Um, oh, he will be hitting this lap. I'm sure he will. But I could tell you there's a Haim in the commentary box in the studio, the Biggin Hill studio in London, that he has got a 117.9 for 5 on the board currently. We will um, currently cut, well, not cut away, but we will um, go on to the thumbnail as I will get some stuff. So, guess you can, I can put audio on. Guess you can hear these engines driving around. I was yes, that will be case. Yes, yes, I will put it on the thumbnail, and I will let you guys listen to whatever out there. I guess. Yeah, well, whatever really. Uh, 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 Give me a second. Work this out. So if I can try to find Harrison should be here. Is right. I will let you guys hear Harrison going past the start finish line again each time. Um, yeah, let's actually yes. Just put on the thumbnail so you guys can watch him. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Luckily, very glad I'm back. Yes, I'm very lucky that I'm back. Unfortunately, Harrison has left. Don't think anyone will be joining anytime soon, really. Obviously, 15 minutes on the clock right now. Um, yes, not much for the drivers to really be practicing. They've only got 15 minutes. Not sure what 15 minutes will actually do. Um, yes. Yeah, not sure what 15 minutes will actually do. Sprint qualifying will be coming up soon. It will be in right 25 no 34 minutes. 34 minutes is the how long qualifying will be. No, can't get my words right. It is 34 minutes until sprint qualifying is what it is. Sprint qualifying is that is when it is. As now, I will try sort out the thumbnail of it. Obviously not been not haven't posted it, so um, yes, yes. For now, in the meantime, no one is here, unfortunately. I was really hoping someone was here, but instead no one is. So not sure what on earth to talk about. Um, yeah, not sure what to really talk about in the meantime. Trying to obviously, sorry, was it silence? Yes, trying to obviously make the thumbnail for the session ahead. Um, yes, it will be broadcasted as usual. Trying to that. Right. For now, it's only house in game. Unfortunately, not no one's in game. Can't get my words right, really. It is unfortunately. Uh, no one else is in game currently. I do really wish. I'm hoping that someone else will join. Soon. Um, yes, but we do have to wait until someone actually does join. Um, um, yeah, someone does join, and whether we can continue having um continue broadcasting them obviously around them driving around a track and everything. Um, but yes, we will continue on with it. Um, as I try and um, I try and get the thumbnail. Yes. In the meantime, anyway, let's talk about real life with 10 minutes to go. I will sort out the thumbnail after. With 10 minutes to go, we might as well just talk about what's happened in practice. I haven't really watched the highlights yet or anything, but yes, we did see Alpha Leclerc, um, obviously the Ferrari Junior, I believe. Um, yeah, um, he was alongside his brother Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc does have a 10 place good penalty. However, he's received it for exceeding his energy store location after a component failure in F1. Arthur Leclerc and Charles Leclerc, first brothers in F1 to drive together in Ferrari. Um, yes, actually, yes, I have the results here. So yeah, a few news to say that um, China has been extended to 2030. Netherlands or Dutch GP has been extended to 2026, so when the regulations come in. Jack Doohan is replacing Esteban Ocon for this weekend. Not really surprised. Ocon not really performing well. Only time he has performed well is Brazil this season and Hungary 2021 from what I can remember. Um, but yes, I could tell you the results from Abu Dhabi. Claire, um, first, this is practice sessions, I should say. Leclerc first, obviously. The first buffer with Norris second. Hamilton, his last race with Mercedes before he moves to Ferrari and pair up with Charles Leclerc. He's third with, and he's ahead of George Russell. He was complaining about Max Verstappen actually, in the interviews. Him and Verstappen do have a bit of beef. Gasly, still performing very well. He's in fifth. Nico Hulkenberg, he is sixth. Frank Colapinto, there is no news on whether he will be signing a contract somewhere else or not. This is his last race. The Argentine will need to perform well. He's seventh. Kevin Magnussen also his last race before Oliver Behrman replaces him. He is eighth. It's Nico Hulkenberg. Obviously, Ocon's going to Haas. I should say. So Hulkenberg, I think he's going to kick Sauber. Felipe Djokovic. If I could get this why, I believe he's F. No, he's not F2 champion. That was, I believe, Fittipaldi, I think. Yes, Felipe Djokovic. He is ninth. He replaced, I believe, he replaced Lance Stroll. Perez trying to put in a good performance. I'm not sure why they've actually why Red Bull gave him a new contract. He hasn't been performing well this season. He's been performing well in his crashes more than his overall performance on the racetrack when he isn't crashing. Fernando Alonso starts, not starts. He's 11th. Liam Lawson trying to obviously he is trying to impress the V Club team. He is 12th. Bottas in 13th. Who is that? Not sure how to pronounce his name. He's a Japanese driver. He replaced Oscar Piastri. There are lots of rookies actually. Yes, he replaced Oscar Piastri with back session. Isaac Hadjar, who is currently competing for the F2 title currently. He is obviously Red Bull Junior. He is hold on, give me a second. There. Right. Sorry about that. Isaac Hadjar, Red Bull Junior. He is 15th. Zhou Guan Yu, he got his first points for himself and also for the Kick Sauber team. He is 16th. Iwasa, F2 driver, another F2 driver. He is 17th. Arthur Leclerc, the second brother, whilst his brother is first, he is all the way down to 18th. Obviously, Monegas moved from F2 last season to something else. Jack Dillon replacing Esteban Ocon, he is 19th. To be fair, Jack Dillon's practice performance is better than Ocon's qualifying performance. Luke Browning, F2 driver, he joined F2 mid-season to replace, I believe, O'Sullivan. He is last. He replaced Alexander Albon for this practice session only. Yes, very, very dramatic stuff going on here. Let's talk about obviously Max Verstappen last week. He was given a one place good penalty, which in my opinion was quite shocking. Yes, we continue on. Qatar last week with the FIA and everything, that was just very chaotic. Like just very, very chaotic in my opinion. I've never seen something like that ever. Obviously Norris getting a 10 place good penalty. Which I do understand. The only problem that I have is that the penalty is too harsh. Hamilton given pretty much the same punishment. Bit too harsh on him. Mercedes, he wanted to retire. Mercedes team said go. No. Then Mercedes team asked him to retire. He said no. So it was quite interesting, obviously. Um, Oscar Piastri winning the Qatar sprint back to back. Um, yes, that's really what I have to talk about. Um, Former Maruzia sporting director, um, some I don't know how to pronounce his first name. Then it's Loden, something like that. He has been appointed as the team principal of General Motors F1 project. He will be joining the grid in 2020. Which potentially will be joining the grid in 2026. We currently have 11 teams on the grid in 2026. Uh, Not currently on the grid, but in 2026 we will have 11 teams. Cadillac joined F1 actually. Obviously Andretti did get rejected for whatever reason. And then we have Cadillac joining American company. So that will be two American, yeah, two American. I think they are American. I think, yeah, I believe it's an American car. Yes, we will have two American teams, Haas and also Cadillac. Yeah, not sure what else to waffle. I've been waffling on for past what 40 minutes, 50 minutes, not sure how long I have been. So for now, I guess yeah, I try as I will sort out the fun now with 2 minutes and soon 5 seconds. Now it will be exactly 2 minutes to go until the session ends. The practice session ends. That you only see in housing. Um, Obviously you've only seen housing attend the practice. That will be a big advantage for him. Um, Tomorrow in sprint qualifying later on, it will it will definitely be a big advantage for him. And I'm interested to see um how good that advantage will be, as we will have to follow the cars again and again and again and again for the whole weekend until we get to Monaco for the final um race of the season. And well, I am going to be very interested to see who will take pole position later on here in Qatar. With 1 minute to go into it, is check a flag. Oh, sorry about that for the coughing. Before the weekend, I did feel my throat was quite bad, and I did say to Omi specifically that I might not be able to shout too much, but that same evening I managed to clear my throat, and now it's better, which is very good news. With obviously big weekend ahead of us, it will be, in my opinion, probably the biggest weekend that I will ever do in commentary. 5 sessions I will have to commentate. Um, and probably, my opinion, probably the most interesting one will be sprint race and main race, which anyone will be looking forward to. In my opinion, as the checker flag is out for pretty much nobody. No one's out there really. Um, so that is unfortunate stuff. I haven't been able to commentate on them. But with 20 minutes to go until sprint qualifying, I'm sure we will be seeing more drivers ahead of us. We only saw Harrison this session. Soon we'll be seeing Pau in his car, in the number 4 car, and then we'll be seeing Note in the number 44 car. Back to the Mercedes car he goes. He does, before I do end this up, he does have 50 million to spend, so he can get upgrades and stuff. He got upgrades in Chicago that didn't work out. So let's see whether he can take pole position or whether Harrison can return back to pole position. We will see you in 19 minutes.